is now in session in the matter of Carino versus Commission of Human Rights. Today we will discuss the issue of whether the Commission of Human Rights has the authority to adjudicate cases involving private entities and labor disputes. Are both parties present? This court is now in session in the matter of Carino versus Commission on Human Rights. Today we will discuss the issue of whether the Commission of Human Rights has the authority to adjudicate cases involving private entities and labor disputes. Are both parties present?
Yes, Your Honor.
To counsel for Carino, you may present your case.
Your Honor, we contend that the Commission on Human Rights should have jurisdiction over this case, as it involved potential human rights violations against Mr. Carino. My client is a worker whose rights to fair treatment and equality have been...
Wala pa.
Hindi ay. Wala. May nanubag.
Di ba manubag mo?
Wala kang nanubag, no? Isa, wait lang. Tapos, isay mo ako eh. Wala akong charger.
Court is now in session in the matter of Carino versus and Human Rights. Today we will discuss whether the Commission of Human Rights has the authority to advocate cases involving private entities and labor disputes. Are both parties present?
Yes, Your Honor.
To counsel for Carino, present your case.
Your Honor, we contend that the Commission on Human Rights should have jurisdiction over this case, as it involved potential human rights violations against Mr. Carino. My client is a worker whose rights to fair treatment and equality have been undermined. Since this is a matter that affects his dignity, we believe CHR should investigate and resolve it, given its mandate to uphold human rights.
Mr. Carino, tell the court what happened.
Your Honor, I was working and I felt that my basic right at work were being violated. I reached out to the CHR hoping they would help. However, they said they lack the authority to investigate labor-related disputed. I believe this unfair as these issues affect my rights.
The Constitution empowers CHR to act on any human rights violation. My client is merely asserting a labor dispute but is seeking protection for his basic rights as a human being. Excluding him for CHR jurisdiction strips him of a venue.
Your Honor, well, we respect Mr. Castello's complaint. We must clarify that the Commission on Human Rights was established primarily to investigate civil and political rights violation, especially those perpetrated by the state of its agent. Our mandate does not extend to labor disputes, particularly those involving private employees.
Can you elaborate on this application?
Certainly, Your Honor, the Commission of Human Rights mandates under the Constitution is to monitor or investigate human rights violations, but generally focuses on government or state actors as perpetrators. Labor disputes involving private individuals or companies do not fall within our jurisdiction unless there is state involvement.
Okay. You may now present your testimonies or witness.
Presidente ng Binyan Laguna at narito ako upang magbigay ng salaysay ukol sa paksa ng Katong Presidente Ako po ay nanunumpa ng mga sasabihin ko ay pawang katotohanan lamang at walang itatago ayon sa aking nalalaman. I work with Mr. Carino and I'm confirmed that many of felt mistreated. We reach out of CHR because we felt that our rights were being ignored by our employer. The CHR was our last hope.
So would you say the CHR is crucial for individuals in situations similar to Mr. Carino's?
Yes, I provided constructive feedback on his performance. As I do all my students, there was no intention to single him out or treat him unfairly. Attorney for the teachers, and I'm professional opinion. Absolutely, when workers like us are mistreated, there is often no one else who will listen.
Ako po si Mr. Rivera, residente ng Binan, Laguna, at narito ako upang magbigay ng salaysay ukol sa paksa ng kasong insidente. Ako po ay nanunpa na ang mga sasabihin ko ay pawang katotohanan lamang at walang itatago ayon sa aking nalalaman. Based on my understanding, the Commission Human Rights mandate is to address human rights violation involving state actors. This allows it to focus on serious human rights issue without being overwhelmed by private disputes. Thank you for your clarifying the intent of Commission of Human Rights mandate.
Your Honor, CHR exists to protect human rights and Mr. Carino's rights as a human are being violated. His case deserves attention regardless of the nature of the employer involved.
Always sympathize with Mr. Carino. The Commission resources and authorities are limited to the relations involving the government or state related cases. It's not that even to include public labor dispute would overstate constitutionally intended role.
Thank you to all parties for your arguments. The issue at hand is the proper scope for CHR's or the Commission of Human Rights Authority. The Constitution designed CHR to focus on civil and political rights, primarily involving state actors. In this case, while Mr. Carino's situation is concerning, it appears that labor-related matters involving private parties fall outside the CHR's jurisdiction. The argument presented, the court must carefully interpret the mandate of the Commission on Human Rights as set forth in the Constitution and relevant laws. This raises an important question about the scope of CHR's authority and the rights of workers facing possible injustices by private entities. The Commission on Human Rights was established primarily to uphold, investigate cases of human rights violations concerning civil political rights, particularly those perpetrated by the state or its agents. In cases involving private entities, as in Mr. Carino's labor dispute, the Commission on Human Rights does not hold adjudicatory power over matters typically addressed through labor laws and other statutory provisions unless there is a clear involvement by the state of representatives. Although Mr. Carino's grievances raise legitimate concerns about worker welfare and fairness in employment, they fall within realm of labor rights, which are traditionally governed by labor courts and agencies like Department of Labor and Employment. The law does not permit Commission of Human Rights to adjudicate such labor disputes involving private employers without evidence of state action or violations of civil and political rights. The court recognizes Mr. Carino's distress and the need for accessible venues for workers to address grievances of this nature. However, as it stands, CHR's jurisdiction is limited by constitutional boundaries and explaining its authority would require legislative action. Therefore, this court finds that the Commission on Human Rights does not have jurisdiction over Mr. Carino's labor dispute with a private employer. The case is dismissed on the grounds that it falls outside CHR scope of authority. This case illustrates the importance of protecting workers' rights, but it also highlights the need for clear jurisdictional boundaries. In our institution, if the law were to allow Commission of Human Rights to investigate private labor disputes, such as change must come from legislative amendment. This court encourages continued dialogue on how to strengthen protections for employees like Mr. Calinos while respecting the Commission of Human Rights original mandate. And now, this case is now closed. Thank you.